Happy Lori and Pongal and Bhogi festival. Wishes, prayers to all Adhyatmika sadhakas. Welcome to you. Each place in different way this festival is celebrated. Commonly is the burning of all the past unwanted residue to restart a fresh life. In fact, that is a very high level of wisdom to be able to forget all the good and bad of the past and living every moment in the present with the best of the performances for the best of the goals or the results. Every of such Sanatana Dharma, our festivals indicate to such level of life. Later on, we will see when these festivals are so deeply lived, we will learn the art of being in the very moment where nothing but the self, nothing but the bliss alone is there. Welcome you all. Salutations to you, the sadhaka in you, to the jignasu, to the mumukshu, to the bhakta, to the shishya in you, and also a wonderful Sanatana Dharma Stavaka Sevaka Pracharaka. May that individuality in us become so strong to overpower all other individualities which pop up continuously without our control, pulling us towards ungodly, non spiritual, worldly life. Such a sensitive, high level of awareness may we all develop that even a moment we are not forgetting that we are sadhakas, we are not forgetting that this is our sadhana, the internal sadhana of recognizing the truth and that alone. No other thing should overpower us even a moment. That's our goal. Then only we can go deep both in study, in sadhana, as well as in anubhuti also. Let us together salute the Parabrahma Tattva, Sarvavyapaka, Sadghana, Chidghana, Anandagana, requesting that Paramatma to take us into the fold, into that experience. Let us pray to the Ishvara, the Lord, to be with us, empowering us to know how to worship and surrender, so that by His blessings, because of the surrender, the curtain of Maya goes away. The truth is revealed as the truth. Everything other than that is so clearly understood to be unreal. Let us salute to our Devatas. Feel their presence at every sense organ level. How hard, tiring work they are doing in maintaining all our personality layers, faculties intact all the time, thus facilitating us to live a good life, happy life, isn't it? So our salutations to every one of them. Such a great mystical thing is happening that from the samashti to the vesti, these devatas come to and take care of every jiva. As many millions of jivas are there, in those so many millions, in their eyes, Bhagavan Surya comes as a vision. In their ears, the Dig Devata comes as the ability to listen, etc. So let us salute to all those devatas. These knowledges of spirituality, in which how the ephemeral world is conducted and how beyond that is the transcendental self, untouched by all this, should be thoroughly heard, understood by us, and look at the life from that standpoint. We will see there is nothing but celebration every moment. Let us salute all our Guru Parampara, the Swaguru, the Acharya, the Tattvarupi Guru, Guru Tattva. May we tune to them, may we devote to them, may the heights in which they are and the heights from where they are speaking all these Shastras, may we all able to grasp them, catch them, satisfying them also, progressing in our own sadhana. Then our salutations to the Shruti Mata. Just remember the Veda Shastras. Remember all the Smriti Shastras. Remember all the Purana Shastras. Remember all the Itihasa Shastra. Remember all the writings of the Mahatmas, whether they are in the form of prose or poetry, bhakti or jnana, in the form of bhajanas and kirtanas. Each of them have given support to so many of the sadhakas. So to those masters and their writings also, our deep salutations, requesting them to be with us. Now in today's very very short introduction thought, what it is as we just now saw, how much is the awareness level increased in us regarding our sadhana and how much deeper layers we have traversed or transcended or crossed. First, in clear understanding, second is through sadhana, actually feeling, actually experiencing. Am I still at the reality given to the world of things and beings? If it is so, the journey has not started at all. So too, if still the Deha is so very important, we are not willing to really do this sadhana. To the mind level minimum, we have to reach to in living life, where we are always aware of the mana, its moods, molding it only. About the Deha, it is an instrument given, it will be maintained and it will be used for the purpose for whatever it is given, and whatever happens to it is received, svikruta, as per its prarabdha. Yeah, it is given. In my garage, there is a car, there is a scooter. In my office, there are so many instruments are there for my work. In my sports kit or the room, there are all the sports items are there. In the same way, yes, in the toolkit, the body with all its sense organs is given. Yeah, it is with me. I travel in it. Always it is with me. Whenever whatever required with it, I do it. But most of the time, I am at the mind level of life lived, of all beautiful positive values, emotions, more so the devotions to the divinity. Always at that level living. Just observe in your own, not in, if I have to achieve that, relative circle, friend circle, or any of the spiritual organizations known to you, any Mahatmas, you can see them. Minimum they attend to the Sharira as well as Indriyas. They are always like Puja Gurudev. We can never see Gurudev living life at the Stula Sharira or Indriya Bhoga level. He in the experience of the divine, but at the expression ke liye, for the mind level, he is there, loving all the suffering jivas. Intellectual level, planning as to how best they can be helped to get molded into spirituality. Being intact in the experience for the sake of seva, he is at the level of manabuddhi, of course, using the sharira and indriyas for this work. Try to picturize all this. Puja Gurudev, sharira, indriyas as an instruments used by him with the vision in the intellect, with the love in the mind, to convey the experience divine in which he is of the liberation to everyone through the Shastra, Prachara, and any other type of so many of the guidances. Isn't it? All Mahatmas are at that level. They are in their own anubhuti, like morning, baite, dhyana mein, experience the self in that deep anubhuti. Whenever you want to come or needed to come, they come out. Immediately look at the world, their plight, their dukkha, giving that emotion in the mind. Then immediately intellect coming into function. So, what is to be done to alienate their miseries? So, each one does differently. The Mahatmas know the root cause of it is ignorance. Therefore, let me give them the wisdom of the truth, the wisdom of the reality, the wisdom of the real self with all its practices. Therefore, he is using his senses and body for accomplishing this work. Can we also slowly rise to that level of the mind, living at the level of intellect, though it is not ultimate, but better than living at the level of Sharira and Indriyas. Sharira Indriyas, most of it is Bhoga. But if it is under the guidance of well trained mind intellect, they can be used for seva of the world. And I need Indriyas to serve world, Deha to serve world. And when will I serve? When I am convinced in the intellect. When will I get convinced in a plan? When in the mind level, I just look at and feel the feeling of dukkha everyone is going through. And these subtle layers, these great masters transcend and they live from that. There's only that thing. Just like the shopkeepers, night close the shop, सुबह आकर 7 बजे फिर खोल के बैठते. Every one of them. ऑल शॉपकीपर्स, कपड़े बेचने वाले, खाना बेचने वाले, जो भी है, फूल बत्ती अगरबत्ती बेचने वाले, whatever, don't they do that? Open the shop, and allow the customers to come, take the things required, take the money. Gurus, Mahatmas also take the money. Their money is our own sincerity and regularity. है ना? ये वाला उनके लिए दक्षिणा है. And they also every day open the dukan and they themselves mobile, है ना? Go to Udamangalamaya Santa Samajo Jangamati Rataraju. They go to everyone, try to educate, guide. How beautiful, how sacred is their living. And the other two things they do are one in their own silent chambers, they are in that unison with the divinity, going beyond this even functional individuality. Like an officer, when he comes home, where is the officerhood in him? It is dissolved for the time being. He is at home with the family. Again, when he goes to office next day, that officer in him comes out. So, too, these Mahatmas are in the experience of the truth. When they need to serve the world, they come to that functional individual entity level. And the other thing they do is tuning to the divine from the Upadhi standpoint called as Ishvara, taking the power energy from him, then praying to him to see to it that no jivas suffer and everybody get tuned to the spirituality. These are the things they do. They revel in the Atmanubhuti, they come out and look at the world, they will compassionate for it, they try to serve with the best of their abilities, and also they, as a routine, as a part, they just go on giving that application. Like the children cannot fill the passport form for the application or any of the forms in the bank. They don't know, are uneducated, they can't do. Will not somebody help? Yes, in the same way, these Mahatmas, knowing that we jivas lost in the worldliness can't even apply to the Lord for our redemption on our behalf, these Mahatmas put an application to the Lord. Hey Bhagwan, bless these Dukhi jivas. Like you do for your own son or daughter, your children. कहते नहीं कि भगवान से प्रार्थना पढ़ाई अच्छा हो जाए तरक्की हो जाए अच्छा so you do for the material things, and we do for only our children. These Mahatmas do for everyone, not for material thing, but the spiritual thing. They keep application in front of God. So many inner, deeper levels of evolutionary living we can really achieve to and live that standpoint, that level. You know, so इस तरह से the whole life has to be used by us. Anything other this is the manipulation of the mind, unwanted and unnecessary, having only one result of taking us away, very far, very away from the truth. from the reality. So may we have these prayers done, may we have these awarenesses maintained, may we always be seeking the truth, questioning ourselves again and again. How many times the Upanishadic truth is remembered, how much of the desire to experience that felt, how much of the prayer extended to the Lord for that, how much ourselves have deeply studied the Shastra that day and tried to meditate. इनके ऊपर ही फोकस करते रहे. God bless all of us. Maybe in this very life see that light, the divinity. Let us now do our Aitareya Upanishad, third chapter, second, third mantra discussion as to which is the self finally has to be meditated upon. Nischayam Krutavantaha. Yesterday after that we saw little browsing through that. Today we'll try to see what are the various ways the pure consciousness having come to the level of expressing as the mind or antakarana gets modified with so many of the imaginations, feelings, etc. Each one of them are required in one or the other place, either for sadhana or for dharmastapana or some vyavahara. Only one or two को छोड़कर बाकी सब पॉजिटिव ही moods of the mind यहाँ बताते हैं. Because divine is always positive, even when he functions at the antakarana level. It is only jiva who, forgetting his divinity, identifying the upadhis for the sake of propitiating them with the mind intellect, has all negative emotions. Higher level people don't have negative emotions. You know? Ma shuchaha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. Hey Arjun, you don't worry. When I have enumerated the asuri sampada, you are born with the daivi sampada only. I just enumerated, caution you not to enter into it. That's all. So these are the divine great expressions of the realized saints at the mind level, one or two. Slip from the self level, come to jiva level, then one or two those non-positive. Let us see all of that. Om, Om, Om. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ जगतीमवितुं कलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्चलतः अहिमांशुरिवात्र विभासि गुरो भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः शास्त्राणां साधनानां भक्तियोगवेदान्तादिप्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थानजागरणविश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिकप्रगति विश्वशान्तिकल्याण एकता पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्मसंस्थापनकार्ये निश्चित अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां गुरूणाम् आचार्याणाम् आश्रमाणां श्रेयोभिलाषिणां भक्तसेवकानां पूर्णायुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्य वीर्यादि शक्ति संपदा सानुकूल्यता साधनानां प्राप्ति बाह्य अभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेयोपनिषदः पारायणम् अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम मनस्तापतमः यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुनिभाभाते तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ॐ अथ शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य म आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहसीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामृतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। पारायणम् अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः। We are to the Parayana, third chapter. ओम ओम कोयमात्मेति वयमुपास्महे कतरः स आत्मा येन वा पश्यति येन वा शृणोति येन वा गन्धाना जिघ्रति येन वा वाचं व्याकरोति येन वा स्वादु च विजानाति यदेतद् हृदयं मनः च एतद् संज्ञानमाज्ञानं विज्ञानं प्रज्ञानं मेधा दृष्टिः धृतिर्मतिः मनीषा ज्योतिः स्मृतिः संकल्पः क्रतुरसुः कामो वशः इति सर्वाणि एव एतानि प्रज्ञानस्य नामध्येयानि भवन्ति। एष ब्रह्म एष इन्द्रः एष प्रजापतिरेते सर्वे देवाः इमानि च पञ्चमहाभूतानि पृथिवी वायुराकाश आपो ज्योतिंषि इत्येतानि इमानि च क्षुद्रमिश्राणि इव बीजानि इतराणि चेतराणि चाण्डजानि च जारुजानि च स्वेदजानि चोद्भिज्जानि च अश्वागावः पुरुषा हस्तिनः यत्किञ्चेदं प्राणि जङ्गमं च पदत्रि च यच्च स्थावरं सर्वं तत् प्रज्ञानेत्रं प्रज्ञाने प्रतिष्ठितं प्रज्ञानेत्रो लोकः प्रज्ञाप्रतिष्ठा प्रज्ञानं ब्रह्म स एतेन प्रज्ञेन आत्मना अस्मात् लोकात् उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृतः समभवत् समभवदित्योम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। A good Parayanam it was. Being every day, just keep chanting. Yes. Yes. Clarity is what? Pure conscious self alone is the Antakarna Mana and all its modifications. That Mana alone at the Golaka level takes position as Indriyas and then it is perceiving the world. By this, what is understood is these Indriyas are the Karya, Mana is the Karana, Mana is the Karya, Paramatma is the Mula Tattva Karana. Second, at the Karana level, Karya level, when we live, our bondages, miseries are more. When we live at the Karana level, problems will be less. Therefore, functionally, though we live at the Karya level, but our focus identification should always be on the Karana, the Mula Karana. Finally, it is Paramatma. While doing so, the art at any given time with choice able to dissolve the Karya in the Karana, which is very tough, but not impossible. And all Karyas dissolved and Purna Karana Rupena staying. Like Bhagavan is said to be in that Vatapatra Shahi Rupa. In that, people, trees, one of the leaves Bhagavan. At that time, Everything, the whole world which is manifested from himself, dissolves into himself and he stays. Samhritya lokan vatapatra madhye shayanamadyanta vihina rupam sarveshwaram sarvahitavataram balam mukundam manasa smarami. So, tasmat sarva karana vishaya vyaparakam ekam idam karanam sarva upalabdhyartham upalabdhuhu. So, for the upalabdha, the experiencer, the jiva, upalabdhyartham, for experiencing, one common karanam is the mana, which is becoming as so many sense organs. That was a conclusion in that paragraph. Then, then the next one was ki tasmat yat padbhyam prapadyata tad brahma tad upalabdhi karanattvena guna bhutatvat naiva tad vastu brahma upasya atma bhavitum arhati. Okay, thus the Brahman entered through prapada and became indriyas. He cannot be the Atman. Then the Indriya Abhimani is not the Atman. Then what he said? Parisheshyad. Dhyan se sunna. Parisheshyad. Very interesting thing. Prapadabhyam entered Hiranyagarbha himself is in the form of all Indriyas, including Antakarana Upadhi. So Indriya Antakarana Upadhi Yukta expression cannot be the Atman to give us the moksha. He is conditioned. Therefore, Parisheshyat, Parishesha means जब इन सबको हमने नकार दिया अब what remains this much. What it is? यस्य उपलब्धुः उपलब्ध्यर्था एतस्य हृदयस्य मनोरूपस्य करणस्य वृत्तयः वक्ष्यमाणाः. Beautiful this sentence. That Atman is the Atman has to be meditated upon. Who is this? ध्यान से सुनिएगा. यस्य उपलब्धुः उपलब्ध्यर्था. That upalabdha, for the upalabdhi of whom, for the obtainment of whom, etasya, these are the sequence of this. Hrudayasya, and from the hrudaya, manorupasya, from the mana, karanasya, vruttaya, vakshamana. Okay. So the karana here are the karmendriya, jnanendriyas, but for them, do this, do that. Who is telling? The emotions are the variety of emotions in the mind. Where are all coming from? The Hridaya. And these are all the instruments. Hridaya becoming the mana. Mana becoming various modifications of vrittis. And that various modifications of the thoughts, the mana, want to express them through the faculties, like gussa. So gussa is in the mana, but that I express through any of the faculty. Everything. आंखों से फाड़ फाड़ कर देख सकते हैं. With the nose you can inhale, exhale very swiftly. With the legs you can run or do something. With the hands you can fight or beat or break something. These are all karmendriya, jnanendriya working. Behind that the emotion of anger. Before that is the mind which has taken this position. And where is this? In the hridaya. In the hridaya, in the form of, let us say, the vasana. So Paramatma himself is there. He alone, through this instrumentation, expressing like that. But at the level of being instrument, Bhagavan is not worthy of identifying with, because already identified and suffering as Jiva. Usse hatkar. That's what is said here. Yasya upalabdhuhu upalabdhyartha. That upalabdha, for whose upalabdhi's sake, etasya hridayasya manorupasya. And this hridaya, which is nothing but the mind, karanasya, which is the instrument for him, vruttayaha. He is an Atman. What are the vrittis? We are going to say in the next para. Entire today we are going to study that only. Then, sa upalabdha upasya atma na asmakam. That final upalabdha is the upasya atma for all of us for moksha bhavitum arhati. Iti they have taken the nirnaya nishchayam krutavantaha. Okay. So one very subtle important thought is, if it really clicks, very good it is. What it is, all these functions are not for the upadhi identified jiva. Then he becomes samsari. All the functional modifications of the mana indriyas if he owns. Then for whose sake they are all? They are all for the Chaitanya Paramatma. Chaitanya Paramatma is like a Raja. He witnesses all the play that people come to perform in front of him, but he doesn't get identified. So the every performer, the singers, the dancers, the musicians, the magicians, they come in front of the Lord, that Raja, to entertain him. He just gives them paritoshikam. He is not bound by. In the same way, they have discovered that for the sake of the Paramatma, that all these functions of the modifications, the mind are functioning. And that Paramatma is observing all of them as witness. He is not becoming an identifier with them to become a Jiva Vibhogi. That Jiva Bhogi identified, that Upadhi identified Jiva is Prapada Abhyam entered Hiranyagarbha. We are here wanting to know that Paramatma who Simana Vidarya entered. But our job is not the one who has entered inside. Again, he is Jiva only. So the combination is what? From Prapada, the Hiranyagarbha entered as Upadhis. From the Murdhan Bhaga, Simana Vidarya, Paramatma only entered. But identifying with the Upadhi, he became Jiva now. This is at the level of ignorance going on. What is the wisdom? Jiva is an uncalled for entity whose only job is to suffer. Why? Because he has the identity with the Upadhis. Without identifying with the Upadhis, there is some other entity too, which is just witnessing. And for his sake only, all the Upadhis are functioning. For his sake means to prove his presence, to give him a chance to empower them through his enlightening capacity, through his Chaitanya Shakti. So that inner conscious self, which never identifies with the Upadhis, is the self with which we have to do upasana and identify with. He witnesses all but never gets colored or influenced by it. That is the Atman we have to meditate upon. To this they have arrived at as a conclusion. Sa upalabdha upasya atma anahasmakam bhavitumarahati iti nischayam krutavantaha. So to simplify it is Vishaya Atma, then Deha Atma, then the Indriya Atma, then Mano Atma, then Shuddha Chaitanya Atma. Atma is one with what I am identifying, that I become. And that level of happiness, misery, bondage is I experience. If which was common to all of us, even those Adhunathana Acharyas or the Sadhakas also discussed it in their discussion, which is that Atman. Upasya, Upasita, and identified by the Vamadevadi Rishis have got moksha. So, all these exercise in layman's language is I am that pure conscious self in whose presence these upadhis are functioning only to entertain me, not to bind me by pulling me to the jiva level. If this can be grasped, intellectually we are really becoming wiser. Then on the seat of dhyana, like those Mahatmas have done, we also, with all deep intense efforts, try to identify with the conscious self. Siddhanta is made practical now. Having identified with the conscious self, which is not overnight, takes time, a lot of years, like lives. When I am that now, out of my own power, these are all there for my entertainment, isn't it? Like I have my own power of singing. I sing and entertain myself. I have power of my own power of playing, so I play and entertain myself. I have power of talking, so I talk and entertain myself. Isn't it? So Paramatma only with his own power entertaining himself. In that entertaining level, as much sacred the beginning is, so much sacred the end. Understood? Means the Janma, Marana, beginning and end. Both are part of the total show. In between, whatever changes, modifications are there, all of them are part of show. Nowhere that unnecessary question, ऐसा क्यों, is asked. ये ऐसा ही होता है, ऐसा accepted. Then there is never ever an iota of misunderstanding, disturbance in the mind. Come whatever may happen in the world. Total world gets dissolved, yet ये ऐसा ही होता है. When that thought is there, we don't get emotional about it at the macro level, even the micro level. Whatever is happening, we don't get emotional. When we stop asking, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? It's a part of the total game. When you see a movie, why that problems happen to the hero or heroine or their family is a part of the total show. You just accept it. Don't put a condition कि ये ऐसा होना चाहिए वैसा होना चाहिए. Point is not the condition. Point is the condition putting mind's nature of putting condition. Why? Because as per your choice, if that scene is changed, again the mind will say, but why it is like that? Why can't it be? Like in case of Sita Rama. I know why Rama left Sita in jungle or asked her to and do the Agni Pravesh. People ask, doesn't he know? No, if he had not done it. The same stupid mouths will say, but why didn't Bhagavan test her, putting her into the fire? Same big useless fellows will ask the same mouth the question. You know, Vichitra mana. It's the nature of the mind only. Always putting conditions, putting the objections. There's nothing to is conditional objectionable here from the divine standpoint. Everything is a play and leela. In the movie you can't ask driver, but that's a play. It's unreal. In the unreal thing, imaginary thing, anything is okay. That's why Srushti, Sthiti, Laya. Srushti as beautiful as it is the Laya ugly. But for the totality, both are equal. Like for the ocean, the coming of the wave, dissolving of the wave, both are same. So question is not asked. Dropping that question, accepting as it is the realization in the outer world. Inside remaining intact with the identity of the self. Okay. Now, beautiful thing comes now. Mm, very, very big sentence it is. I'll read it three times. I'll explain three times for my interest also. कि तद अंतःकरण उपाधिस्थस्य उपलब्धु प्रज्ञारूपस्य ब्रह्मणः उपलब्ध्यर्था या अंतःकरण वृत्तयः बाह्य अंतर्वर्ती विषय विषयाः ताः इमाः उच्यन्ते. Good reading, no? Why sentence? How spashta Bhagavan Adi Shankara's expression. Tad antakarana upadhistasya upalabdho prajnarupasya brahmanaha upalabdhyartha ya antakarana vruttayaha bahya antarvarti vishya vishayaha taha imaha uchyante. So in this sentence, one long one, so many things very clearly in front of us, Bhagavan Adi Shankara is putting based on the mantra of the Upanishad. In the Upanishad, we are going to study the Sangnyanam, Ajnanam, Prajnanam, Vijnanam, the words one by one. Okay. What are they? They are all, um, uh, they are all what? Antakarana Vrittaya. The antakarana vrittis are of bahya antarvarti vishaya vishayaha. Okay, for those antakarana vrittis, every vritti has a vishaya in it. For some vrittis, the bahya karana is the vishaya. For some vrittis, the antakarana vishaya are the vishayas. So the thought is there. In the womb of the thought, object is there. Those objects can be the outer objects through senses. Those objects can be of the mind only. At the mind level, there are all emotions, etc. With the world outside through senses, the touches, the smells, etc. Okay. Like I have in my mind the vritti of this is a black color or red color. I also in my mind have a vritti that I am now emotionally miserable or happy. This is understood? These are the antakarana vrittis. What are they? The list of the things which are going to see. Antakarana vrittis, bataya idhar. Hmm. For whom they are all? That is the important question. That is what is said in the earlier point. Ki antakarana upadhistha. The one who is functioning through the antakarana upadhi, then upalabdhu. He is the upalabdha of all these emotions. Here he is treated at the antakarana upadhi. He is receiving all the variety of the emotions, modifications of the upadhi, not becoming jiva by identifying. Just upalabdha. He is obtaining, not identifying. We are not talking here about the jiva at all. Pure conscious self only is the one upalabdha who is getting the upalabdhi means obtainment of all these various antakarana vrittis for which the vishayas are, some of them are outer, some of them are inner. Outer of the Shabda Sparsa Prasagandha, inner of the variety of emotions. So, Sangnyanam, Ajnanam, Prajnanam ityadi are the variety of the Antakarana vrittis in whose womb some places the inner Vishayas are the Vishayas, for some of them the outer Vishayas are the Vishayas. But all of them are Upalabdha of the pure conscious self. When he is riding the Antakarana, for him they are all being witnessed by him. Now, when he withdraws his attention from them and identifies with his own self, he alone remains. There is no antakarana upadhi through which he is seeing the modifications of those vrittis, becoming witness of them. So, there are only two ways we have to live a life. One, live as the pure conscious self. No janjat, no problem. At little lower level, be a upalabdha and have the upalabdhi of all the antakarana vrittis, giving sama value to everyone. Sukha dukkhe same krutva, labha labho same krutva, jaya jayo same krutva. These two are safe levels. Come down, what is the third level? Identifying with those upadhis, then feeling as if those dvandvas are there, are of mine, and in that preferring one, rejecting the other one, that's called jiva bhava. That is out of ignorance and delusion. What is the ignorance? Ki I am the self. I need not identify with the emotions. Delusion is what? Not knowing it. That's ignorance. Earlier one. The delusion is therefore identify with the modification and preferring one of them and be miserable in both ways. Like I prefer sukha. Both ways I become miserable. One, the sukha doesn't come and dukkha never leaves me. And when I don't prefer, then both of them. Dukkha also will give sukha, sukha also will give sukha because I am not giving any specific preference. I am only witness of them. तमाशा है देख रहा हूं मैं. Two identifies we can have. Pure conscious self, revel in that in the deep meditation going beyond all the upadhis. Or be the upalabdha at the antakarana level. Whatever happening in the antakarana level, just upalabdha of it. Don't get identified with them. And in that also, like a master, which are the antakarana vrittis, which are healthy, helpful for the proper conduction in the world's vyavahara. उसको ले आओ, which are not good, उसको हटा दो बस. Like the person who is working as a mechanic in a car shed. So many spares are there. Which is a spare suitable for that particular nut and bolt? That spanner he takes, not the other ones. And he does the work with it. And he keeps that also there. So too I am functioning in the world, the dharma the vrittis of the values, the vrittis means thoughts of love and compassion. They are good to help in the world. Therefore use those vrittis. Usko bhi वहाँ रख दो. But the other vrittis of adharma, papa, they also can be entertained. But they are harmful to the world. The व्यवहार के लिए वो अच्छे नहीं, इसलिए उस इंस्ट्रूमेंट को फेंक दो. Others are doing it. You just become witness. Why are you worried? Again, I am repeating. तद अंतःकरण उपाधिस्तस्य उपलब्धुः प्रज्ञारूपस्य. And this upalabdha is prajnarupa. That prajnarupa upalabdha alone is the pure Brahman. Okay, that prajnarupa is pure prakarshena jnanam, pure consciousness which never gets modified to become anything. And pure awareness of all modifications that are happening in the antakarana. And that awareness is called Brahman in the Shastras. Not becoming aware of the vrittis, becoming self-aware, he becomes one with the self. So that is a transcendental level. When he comes to the immanent level, he remains as the self only, but just comes one step level down to call as witnesshood, Sakshi Bhava. So Atma Anubhava, Sakshi Bhava, Jiva Bhava. Jiva Bhava is when we identify, that is samsara. Sakshi Bhava is a sadhana, or you just allowing the things to happen in your presence. Atma Anubhava is even that outer darshana of the upadhis also is not there. Here the subtle upadhis, one is with one's own self. Keep on trying to recognize these things on the seat of meditation. One day it will click to us. One day it will take a lot of time. But करते करते रहने से ये सूक्ष्म ज्ञान का अनुभव पक्का होएगा. So of that Brahman, who is the Prajnana, who is the Upalabdha, for whose Upalabdhi these Antakarana Vrittis are there, those Antakarana Vrittis are, for example's sake, few are mentioned. Tad Antakarana Upadisthasya Upalabdhu Prajnana Rupasya Brahmanaha Upalabdhyartha Yantakarana Vrittayaha. That antakarana vrittis, some of them have the bahya thing as the vastu, some of them are antaha things as the vastus. Bahya antarvarti vishaya vishayaha taha imaha uchyante. Those all emotions are told now. Antakarana vrittis. So I am pure consciousness, I am witnessing the antakarana. Antakarana is going through various modifications to entertain me. I just by being witness entertained, getting entertained by them. So you can feel like that. Paramatma, when he is bored of his own being pure conscious self, with his own Maya, he just projects his Antakarana and its modifications, witnesses them. In that, when he gets bored, he withdraws all that, remains with himself. He is a Mukta Sthiti. What is the Baddha Sthiti, Jiva Sthiti? Once that mind Antakarana is projected with its vrittis, identifying with Ahanta Mamata, missing the being a witness. Like the three people are dancing there. Raja is watching. If all the three are some natural common performers, Raja has the equal dristy to them. Among three, one of them, let us say, is his own son. Generally डांस की जगह that the sword युद्धम खड़ग युद्धम बोलते हैं. राजा के सामने परिवार में सो रहा है. All are equal to Raja. खड़ग युद्धम is enjoying. But once his own son is there a part of it, he gets emotional. That's called the jiva in him is coming up. Raja is a Brahman. Now the father of one of the person who is doing that fencing or Khadga Yuddham is called Jiva Raja. Like anyone's, this boy also is doing, but a Mera Putra hai. And that Mera Putra is because I am this body. From this he is born. When I identify this body, through this body he is born, therefore is my son, therefore his emotion towards the son, agar wo beta haar raha hai, even though other fellow is powerful and doing very good yuddha, because of which obviously this fellow has to be losing, he will become miserable. Same one who was defeating his son, when he is defeating other fellow, he was enjoying. अरे इसको हराए तो तुम दुखी हो रहे हो, उसको हराए तो कैसे सुखी हो रहे हो तुम? Because here is that attachment. That is jiva. If the Raja looks at the good performance, and whoever performs well and gets victorious, and Raja appreciates him without any attachment anywhere, he is Jivan Mukta. In the same way here also. It's a beautiful topic what we are discussing now. Very, very helpful for clear understanding and meditation. And on the dhyana avastha, in this way, the outer world we are very aware of. The indriyas which are seeing them, we are aware of. The indriyas bringing that information and making it as a thought in the mind, we are aware of. And we are aware of the identification with the thought happening and becoming happy and miserable, that's called as jiva. And we are pure awareness. Like Puja Gurudev. With his pure awareness in the interest of the nation, he went on doing the spiritual work. His attention was in the work. While doing so, how many joined him? He looked at them, allowed them to work. How many left? He looked at them, allowed to live. He never identified. That is a Jivan Mukta sthiti. What is Jiva sthiti? Getting identified both way. If a good person lives, miserable. If a bad person lives, happy. And a good person not living, happy. Bad person not living, miserable. That is Jiva Lakshana. And that is based on उपाधि तादात्म्य. Underline this word. उपाधि का हम विटनेस है, हमें उसकी तादात्म्य करने की जरूरत नहीं. यूज करो. आई एम विटनेस ऑफ द कार. इट इज एन उपाधि. I can use it, I can travel it. But why do you become car? You are a happy beggar. अब वो क्यों identify with that? Can we maintain this thought that I am upalabdha, I am a conscious awarer? That's it. Hmm. Yesterday we gave the example. Just see the whole exhibition of 2240 stalls. In Hyderabad every year, Jan 1st to February 10, the exhibition. 2,500 stalls लगते हैं. When we see all of them as a witness, you never become jiva. You enjoy. But in one shop, one thing, you liked it, you want to buy, अब हो गया संसार. I'm just telling how the vyavahar, how the mm, vyavahara becomes samsara when the ragadvesha are brought into picture. उसकी जरूरत है घर में, वो अलग बात है, वो फिर संसार हो गया. Generally, how we get stuck up at one thing. Get caught up. Can we remain as Sakshi to everything? That's what Sukha Dukkhe Same, Lava Lava Same. Same thing is Arogya, Anarogya Same, young and old Same, Janma, Mrityu Same. क्योंकि मैं सबको देख रहा हूँ. अब मैं देखने वाला हूँ. Why should I get identified? I am witnessing the waves coming, waves staying, waves going. I witness, no, nothing is happening to me when those three things of birth, growth, death to the wave happened. Among these three, if one thing is given value, birth, the one way, the other is given the negative value. Hare, mar raha hai re baba. Then that gives dukkha. When we know Sahaja Rupena, everything which is born will die, and I don't born when that is born, I am not dying when they are dying, I am only witness. When that state we maintain, in the whole world we relax wherever we are. We don't become Jiva to suffer. हो गया अब बताते हैं one by one अंतःकरण वृत्तिस which are the for sake of that upalabdha. Who is prajnanam, who is brahma? Prajnanarupi Brahma means the pure conscious self. For him, these things are the upalabdhis. Upalabdhi means the entertaining things. He is looking at them, getting entertained. That's why every emotions, you and I, what we have, all of them Jivan Mukta also has. Like every physical functions we do, he also does. Difference is what? We get identified, he doesn't get identified. We get used by those emotions, he uses them. Mouth uses us, he uses the mouth. Eyes uses, he uses the eyes. These are all gross in there. Certainly, anger uses us, he uses anger. Love attachment uses us, he uses the love. You understood? For the particular purpose, thereafter side पे रख दिया. We बिना पर्पस का खामा का अटैचमेंट होकर सफर होते. For no reason we get attached and get miserable. For no, because attachment has no reason. Reasonable nahi hai wo. But my son, you take them, take care of him. Who says not? But I want to attach, then suffer. Son never troubles. My son troubles. But is my son. No. They become miserable. Who says not? Higher wisdom if you don't want to use. Anta mamata. Clear? Now, tad antakarana upadhistasya upalabdho prajnarupasya brahmanaha upalabdhyartha ya antakarana vruttayaha bahya antarvarti vishyaha taha imaha uchyante. These are the various emotions. Just two we'll see today, tomorrow we'll see remaining. What is sangnyanam? What is sangnyanam? Sangnaptihi. Samyak jnaptihi means what? Chetana bhavaha. Chetana bhavaha means being aware, being the knower. Sangnapti. Chetana bhava means in the antakarana vritti, Paramatma reflected because that antakarana vritti became the knower. So therefore it is knowing. Here we can say buddhi is talked about. Because buddhi is the one which has the sangnyanam, the chetana bhava of knowing. कि लेफ्ट जाए या राइट जाए या सीधा जाए या पीछे मुड़े, इस चीज को पकड़े या उस चीज को पकड़े, इस व्यक्ति से बात करे या उस व्यक्ति से, ये जो चेतना भाव है, जो बुद्धि का काम है ये. And I am aware of that. My buddhi is functioning in discriminating and having that chetana bhava sanjnanam. Second one, ajnanam. Very good it is. Ajnanam is ajnapti. Ajnapti means Ishvara bhava. This obviously is the work of the ego. है कि नहीं? ये संज्ञानम बुद्धि का काम है, तो this आज्ञप्ति is the work of ego. Ajnanam is Ajnapti means Ishvara bhava, where either I become the sense of owner of it or I order. Like the servant in my house. So I feel the Ishvara bhava with him, then I do the Ajnapana to him. Chalo jao, 2 cup chai bana ke lao. So who is doing it? The ego is doing that order. And who am I? I am witnessing that ego in me. Ego is aham vritti. Not the negative one, but aham vritti. So ajnanam is another mode of antakarana. So actually these are such a beautiful exercises. This particular mantra, the variety of the modes of the mind are brought, and we are told that we are witness of it. Now, can we use these things really to develop the witnesshood in us? तो कैसे मेरे अंदर इस घर का यजमान जन्म लेकर उस नौकर को ऑर्डर दे रहा है? Observe it. Like I am here now, an Acharya talking on Upanishads. Can I become aware of that entity in me and its functioning of interpreting and explaining the Shastra? I am only witness. The pure awareness in me is aware of this particular ego expression called as the Vakta. Don't identify with him. Interesting. Then the Prajnanam Ityadi will come. Each of them tomorrow we will see. With that, this mantra too will be done. The third one is the one in which even the entire world is also nothing but that Paramatma alone is expressing as. That Prajnanam alone is expressing in so many forms. That side and this side, that Prajnanam alone is Brahman. Without seeing the pure Prajnana Brahma, when you see the expression of Prajnana Brahma in the form of various forms and names, you get deluded and you get enchanted. But when you see the pure Brahman, then He alone is the expression of all this world, then it is no delusion. Little subtle thing it is. Definitely we'll study tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Okay, we have begun the discussion of those words. Then the meaning of it, these are the various vrittis of the antakarana, of which I am upalabdha. In my awareness, they are all. Like when I am traveling in train, so many stations, trees, all. I am only witness of them. In the highway, antakarana, so many vrittis, I am witness. A very good practice it is. Let Lord bless us in realizing that.